So I'm here. I don't know if anybody else is, and I don't know if the comments are going to work today because for some reason my Mac is saying it's not going to allow chat, but that won't be going forward. So I'm going to be jumping right in. I'm giving you a chance to come back. It's a technical thing that happened there. I knew it would. It's been a while, so just waiting till I can say hi to you all. So let's see what's going on. We've got somebody there. Hello, and I've got one or two. So we'll just wait for another few people to kind of join. So welcome to Tarot Tuition. Hello, how are you doing? And are you well today? I'm going to lock my screen so that it doesn't disappear like it did. So tarot workshops, okay? And it's all about learning about the cards, isn't it? And I've been teaching tarot for years, and I'm happy to share a little bit in workshops with you on these live platforms. I have been putting online courses together, and I do hope that you can hear me. It's going to be a bit difficult. Normally I've got comments coming up, but for some reason the software that I'm actually using today is not going to actually allow me to see your comments. So perhaps if you type them, I might get them later, and do be kind. We're just going to whiz through some tarot today, and welcome to you all. And yes, I am a professional tarot reader. I've been reading for 30 years, professionally for 20, and I've done it full time for about that amount of time. And I love tarot. It's so exciting. It's lovely to have you all with me, and tarot now is becoming the thing that we all want to know a little bit more about because it can help so much. So I'm going to jump in, and for today, I'm just going to say my name's Anne-Marie, and please do put some comments or questions into either one of the Facebook groups, as in the page on Facebook, which is Tarot with Anne-Marie, or the group one, which is Talk About Tarot, or you can pop it on the YouTube channel. I can't see how that's going on at the moment. I'm just trusting that I've got 5 people watching according to this. So it's going up and down in numbers. So hello and welcome to you all. So let's get started. I don't know if you are beginners or whether you already have some tarot knowledge, and this will just be a half hour while I get back into lives, and then we'll get cracking with something on a regular basis here. It's a free workshop. Yes, I do online spotlights and paid courses, but it's nice to know what you might be studying, isn't it? This is just a little bit of a taster in a workshop because you're not in class or anything like that. So let's jump right in. So today we're going to go through some of the cards, and so there's the major cards, and that's what we're going to kick off with. And this is just some of the bullet points that I've prepared for you, and I'll pull myself out of that if you just bear with me for a moment. This is the Fool. So with the Fool, we can see that this is the start of something that's brand new. And the Fool is about confusion, and the Fool is about revolutionary changes. So it's a card of things never ever being the same again. And I'm going to just try and move my camera a little bit. And please do bear with me because I'm right in the middle of the writing, which I want to make sure that we get me out of it. So bear with me. I'm just trying to make sure that I lock my screen like that. And yeah, it's been a while, folks, since I've done this. So all my technology has shifted about a little bit and become a little bit more up to date. And I've not been here since, gosh, October of last year. I've been working on these courses. So just bear with me while we just kind of get this sorted out. I'm going to lock the overlay, move me. So okay. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I did tell you this might happen, so you must forgive me. Okay, so the writing, you are now able to see the Fool. Confusion. revolutionary changes. And this is a card that links to the planet Uranus, okay, which is all about new beginnings, where things will change and they won't be the same again. It's the start of something new when you look at the Fool. No knowledge is gained. So if this came up in a reading and somebody was asking, gosh, am I going to get a new job? And you see the Fool. Absolutely. It's not the job that they've got at the moment. They are moving on to something new. Would it be internal? No. It would be something brand new, external. No knowledge, no history at all. There's a sense of naivety about this card if you look at this fellow about to just step off the edge of the cliff. Naive, I don't care, let's go for it. What does it matter? I'm taking a leap of faith. We don't know, we're not shown in this picture, what actually happens if he steps off that cliff. Does he fall? Does he land on his feet? Is the dog trying to warn him of something? Is he taking no notice? That's for you to decide. That's what your intuition is there for, and that's where you can put the pieces of the puzzle together. It is about stepping into the unknown. What comes next would be whatever the other cards reveal in the spread. So as you move and put more cards out, you're able to see exactly what the story is building up. So, for example, let's say that you have the Fool, and I've just picked up a card from another deck here. Beautiful deck. I'm here to sort of show you. Yeah. So this is a lovely deck, as in, I've got so many decks of cards, but I try not to actually bring in something that we can't all follow. The Rider-Waite is excellent for its symbology, its meanings, and we can point things out really clearly. But let's say it was the Fool and you come up here with another card next to it, the Knight of Wands. Well, just looking at that, look at the feelings that's going on in there, this movement. And that's what it's about. What do you see? Is it still? No. Hell no, you can see in that. It's moving. So something's moving. Wands are all about action. They're all about things that we make happen. Action leads to things that become either a messy action and they collapse and we start again, or they lead to something that develops into materializing, don't they? So it would depend what is actually your other cards, okay? And again, I thought I'd share with you there we go, there's the Fool, and that's a very different one to what you can see on the actual screen that I've put there. Doesn't matter. You'll find a deck that suits you, one that actually speaks to you. But this is a lovely deck because it's got some modern images, much more on point with who we are and what we're doing now. But the purpose of learning Rider-Waite is brilliant because the rich symbolism. So it's about stepping into the unknown and naivety and trusting maybe in your fate and your fortune, taking that leap of faith. And this is a card that tells us that, it might be a foolish step into the unknown or to act like somebody who's unconstrained by the normality of respectable or polite behaviour. I am just going for it. I don't care. That's what the Fool's all about. So these are some of the meanings, but the feelings are what you feel when you look at that card. And that's your intuition. And that's your psychic ability. And the Fool is somebody that irrationally trusts and accepts opportunities, trials and tribulations, anything that life throws at him. He is very cheerful, he's communal, he's optimistic. There's no logic in his success. And yet, there is something a bit odd about all of this, isn't it? To actually say, I don't care, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And, what comes, comes. I may actually take a leap and fall to my death because we're not shown the relationship of what's happening when he steps off that cliff, of what's underneath. We can see the background there. If you look, looks like mountains there. And, that's trying to give us some sort of insight as to what the topography is of what's going on around, where it's going to land, how does it look, what's actually going on. We don't know. By wanting to know more, it's about pulling another card. And people get lost and kind of go, well, what does that mean? Well, you're building it up. You're building up a story of what is actually happening. Not necessarily in chronicle order, that would depend on your spread, of course. But let's just take it that you're pulling a couple of cards and you're looking at what it is. If you look at the feelings in the meanings, they're two different things. What you feel when you look at that card is entirely different, maybe, to what it means. It doesn't make it wrong. It actually means that you are developing your sense of intuition. And you may say, well, it always be that, perhaps. But when you speak to somebody else, you might completely get different feelings that's going on. So if we look at this card today, and this is the Radiant deck of Rider-Waite cards, have a look at what's going on there. We've got some yellow. What do you think of when you look at yellow? Well, sunshine, happiness, joy, confidence, lovely. What else speaks to you in the colours of those cards? You can see a little bit of red there, as in on the sleeves of his tunic. The red is very much about passion. And what does it mean to you? Does it mean stop? Does it mean passion? Does it mean danger? Does it mean, I am actually full of confidence? Does it mean energy? Or is it actually something to you that is none of those things? Whatever it is that you're actually sensing and feeling, that is what it is for you. And we all need to have some sort of, I've taught myself to some degree, but we also need to be able to feel confident about what we're saying, because it's a responsibility when we read cards for other people. So the Fool is the beginning. It's something new. It's no knowledge. It's no experience. And he's prepared to go for it, carefree, taking a leap of faith. If we look at his tunic again, you've got all these little symbols on there. Maybe they speak to you. Maybe his yellowish boots tell you or make you think something. Perhaps you see that as in he's joyfully grounded because you're looking at his feet, you're looking at the joy in the colour yellow because they're a golden colour, there's a richness, there's a wealth in what he's doing, he feels grounded, and he's actually going to be the expert in his own life, even though he's acting in a naive way. Sometimes you've just got to go for it. And that is part of what the Fool actually means. Okay? If we look, he's got a little knapsack. That represents his knowledge. Not much going on there, is there? It's tiny, He carries it in a carefree way. Perhaps it's the start. We can all be a student or at the beginning of something when we embark upon going forwards in what we're doing. We can start off learning to drive. We have an instructor to help us, or we start a course and we know nothing. So we all begin from zero sometimes as a student that knows nothing. And we're happy to admit that. And we're happy to go with the flow and say, well, goodness, whatever happens, happens. That's the way it's going to be. So that's what the Fool's all about. And it's really about using your intuition. And it's also about knowing what the meanings are, as I've provided for you in this bullet points here today. But it's also about what you feel. Does it make you feel happy when you look at that card? Do you feel stressed? Does it make you think, gosh, I couldn't possibly, not in a million years? Well, yeah, that might be something for you. But when you look at that when you're speaking to somebody that's actually the person that's having the reading, the current, you might actually pick up something entirely different and wonder why. Well, it's because you're connecting with that person and the cards are helping you to do so. They're a tool. But it's nice to actually feel that you've got the confidence to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Look at the Fool. Does he look like he's standing still? Does he look like he's paying attention? Does he look like he's taking action? Does he look like he's got proof? Those are the kind of things that you might want to ask, and that will help you. But always put another card out, and another card will help you also, because it's what's next. So if it's a major card, it's obviously some big things happening. If it's a minor card, tells us whether it's thoughts, feelings, intentions, or whether it's a product that's already proved itself, or it's action and at what stage that action is. But we'll go on to minor cards, not today, but another time. But I'm just telling you, if you are looking at what it's next to, you kind of write a word and you put A and B together, or A and T, it becomes something different, doesn't it? It makes the word at. It's about building it up. And that's what you've got to do. You just put in one thing next to the other, building up the parts and the pieces of the puzzle. Let's move on to another card. Okay, so in order, here we go, got the Magician. Okay, and in the Rider-Waite deck, I'm just moving my card there because I'm going to show you another Magician in a moment. Magician works in conjunction with the planet Mercury, and the Magician is all about how you think and how you speak. It's about communication, communication, and communication, and how the mind is working. It's how you view your own reality. It's a card of achievement and having willpower, manifesting things. How do we know that? Look at that table. There's all the elements on there. We've got the sword, we've got the cup, we've got the wand, we've got the pentacle. And he's holding a wand up to the sky and connecting it with the earth, being the conduit between heaven and earth. And he's got that symbol of infinity above his head. So, what does that mean? It means he's protected. It means he's ever present, always moving, always evolving. There is no beginning, there is no end. It is also protection. But the symbols on the table that are represented by the sword, the cup, the wand, and the pentacle represent the elements, and that's the thoughts for the swords, and the cups for the emotions, the wands for the actions, and the pentacles for the products or the proof or the things that have materialized. And if we look at that, if you've got all that together, if you think it and you feel it and you act upon it, well, you end up with a product, whether it's any good or not. You've got something, even if you set about making something, whether it's craft or whether it's cooking, whatever. You've got something. If you think it and you go, yes, I really want to do that, and you do it, then you make it happen. So that's what we mean about manifesting. Achieving goals. Well, the Magician's clever, and sometimes he's able to connect through his thoughts and his intentions, bring the whole thing together. And so he's willful. He could also be somebody that is prepared to bluff it. If you think about it, illusions, that's what a magician actually does, isn't it? They make us think that they can turn X into Y or make something disappear when it's just a clever trick. But it fools us in the respect of we want to be fooled because we want to believe in that person. And so maybe that's an aspect of the magician. It doesn't always mean sneaky. It just means they're blagging it a little bit, don't we all? We all have to do that and go, gosh, yes, I can help you. And you think, I hope I can. It's that kind of thing. It's a genius card in the sense of if you're able to think it and you're able to feel it and you're able to make action, then you turn it into a product. That's quite brilliant. Communication we talked about because it's connected with the planet Mercury. So if somebody says to you, am I going to hear anything from X? And you get the Magician, yes. But what's it next to? Where did it land? So we'll talk about positions and the other cards and how to put the pieces together another time. For now, it's just a little workshop for you to actually get started. And I did want you to introduce yourselves today, but unfortunately my chat messages are not coming through to me. So if you're chatting to each other, wonderful. Hope you enjoy that, and I'll look at it later. If not, and you're just paying attention to the lesson of just a little workshop about tarot, and somebody that uses the cards on a daily basis for the last 30 years, yes, I do know what I'm talking about. Talking about them individually is also a little bit new for me because I'm used to putting out a spread and I pull it all together. And that's something that I won't be able to really teach you on a workshop, but it's something that I provide on my online courses. So perhaps, if you get started and you find this works for you, you can build up knowing you can keep going. So nobody's going to abandon you. And reading it from a book I've done so many books. They're so helpful. They're so useful. It's nice to be around a group of people that are like-minded, that can share things, and they're on the same wavelength as you. So I thought that I'd bring this together because I used to go to tarot workshops back in London, gosh, 30 years ago now, and it was great, because there was a whole bunch of us and we could ask questions, and that was in person, and we'd meet all the time, once a week for the tarot class and then once a week for the tarot club. And so just wanted to give you that opportunity online, by actually getting you started and giving you something where you feel that you can keep going. So, burst of brilliance and a spark of inspiration. Is this burst of energy that the card symbolises something actual, or is it a bit of a mirage? Smokes and mirrors, magician. Well, look at the other cards. So, if you want to practice, just shuffle and pull out maybe the magician, then pull out another card and see what you get, see what you get. So, I'll do that for you now. Bear with me. Right. Any card here. So in this deck, look at that, I've pulled out the Four of Blades. Now that's actually the Four of Swords. So there's a guy sitting in his tent, okay, and he's not doing anything. So in this case, it's about being able to recoup. So the magician needs to think. He needs to actually have a rest. The tent's representing the fact that this person's having a bit of a break. They've got a change of perspective, change of scenery, that kind of thing. So that would change everything. But what about if we bring in this one? We've got the magician. That's movement. So we've got stillness in one card, the 10, somebody just sitting. This guy's on his motorbike. Not the same. This is action. That's taking your time to think. So very different. And that's what you've got to look at. Do I think this person's doing nothing? Well, he's actually just enjoying himself. He's not doing nothing, but he's not moving, is he? He's not making something happen. He's actually within his own head and having a bit of a break. And we all sometimes need to do nothing or just sit still. Or sometimes we need to be on that motorbike moving. So we've all had the experience of feeling that we've discovered something marvellous and truthful, and the way forward in a project is we actually kind of go, well, hang on a minute, I thought that was going to really work out, but in actual fact, maybe it's not. So it's a bit like, is it a eureka moment, or is it a moment of clarity where you go, gosh, it's not a great idea. I really thought I was going to make money, or I was going to do this, and something was going to happen, but when I look at it, it's not really going to work out the way I wanted it to. So it can land either way. So by putting out another card, you can find out what is going to happen. So we've taken one where it's actually telling us, gosh, we're going to sit outside a tent and do nothing. We've taken one where we're actually going, I'm on the move, I'm on a journey, I'm on my bike, I'm going, I'm grabbing, I'm going. And, what do you see in his face, He's kind of going, I'm going for it. Somebody might go, he's excited. Somebody might go, actually, he's got a spanner in his hand and it looks a little bit menacing. Yeah? But you can actually see in that card movement. Look at what's going on behind. All these things. Is he leaving people behind? What's going on? So if you've got the magician, he might be really clever and getting away, or he might be really clever and going, I'm actually taking some time out, a bit of a retreat for myself, so I can connect with myself and magically bring it all down together. So that's the magician. I do want to actually, let's show you the other card, the magician. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Right. Sometimes I film downwards, but it's impossible to keep changing my screen, as you saw. There's the magician. Now that's the modern context, isn't it, of making things happen. Okay. As somebody making something, he's got a shovel and he's got the earth and he is making something grow and he's planting something. And if we look, we can see the flowers. So it's a bit more modern. Okay. So, sorry, this dog's barking. I do apologise. We'll be finishing up soon. Little half hour here to just get going. But choosing your deck to get started right away is probably the best because symbology can help you. But using a fantastic deck like that one, I think it's the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. I haven't got the box with me. I've got so many decks. I'll be showing those to you. I'll be doing some unboxing soon, as in on my YouTube channel. So that's good. I've got about 8 decks that I want to actually unbox and share with you. So that will be fun. And just to say, here's a Rider-Waite deck. It's traditional Rider-Waite deck again. And I bought this deck. This is, I'm actually going to show you. I'm not trying to advertise anything here, but look, that's this. They're plastic. Fabulous. So, if you're a bit messy, and we are inclined, I'm with clients, I'm working all day long, taking calls, and I put out a big old spread. I do need to have a little drink of water or a coffee, as it is, and easily, it could be that one of my cards got spoiled. I'm very careful it hasn't happened up to date, but after 30 years, maybe I'm pushing my luck. These are plastic. They're absolutely gorgeous. So that's a full in this Rider-Waite deck, plastic one, okay? And there's our Magician. Okay, so different decks will give you different things, but they're absolutely gorgeous. And you could, not that I'm going to, but have a think about that. I got those, gosh, a couple of months ago. I've not had a chance to show them off. The colours are amazing. But finding a deck that you love, and we can all collect. I'm collecting. I've got worse as I've got older. I've got more decks now than ever, of course, but they are lovely. But I do actually do it so that I can show and compare, and another deck will speak to you differently. Just as I showed you, the Magician here compared to our Magician here, they're very different, But to learn, it really is the Rider-Waite that I would recommend. You don't have to simplify if you really have a passion, and I think these are great. And the reason I've shown you this is just feel that it's a little image that we can all actually go, gosh, yes, I know somebody that digs a garden. Now I know what the Magician's all about. It's about making and growing things, alchemy, all that kind of thing. So, my lovelies, sorry that we couldn't actually say hi and chat in the way that I wanted to with you today. And I knew there'd be some tech issues, but you're very welcome. And I do hope you enjoyed a couple of cards there today. And I look forward to your company next time. I will not be able to put on a regular spot. I will just put a message up and kind of say I'm jumping in, and that's what I'm going to do. I can't actually give an accurate time and be on time and say it's Mondays at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's impossible for me. I've got clients from around the world, and they actually do need to be able to have their readings with me. So that's something that I will just know when I've kind of got through the working day, as it were, and I'll jump on and do it. Hopefully, if all has gone well today, this will be recorded and available for catch up or a replay for you to watch, definitely in YouTube. Not sure about how it will go in Facebook. As I said, thank you so much for joining me, and you're welcome to share. I will be streaming through my group on Facebook, my Facebook page and my group, and definitely on my YouTube channel. Impossible to do Instagram, which I absolutely adore and love, because you can only go into that as Instagram. So I can't show these images or anything like that, but you can catch me on there, and you can see on the bottom of the screen. You can always come and say hi on there, and I'd love you to follow me, because I go on there and do lives in a very different way, and I sometimes do free readings, of course, so we'll just have a little chat with you all. So I'll see you soon. Sorry I wasn't able to actually connect and chat, but next time hopefully we'll be able to do the typing. It can be a bit distracting, but you know what? You're with a group of people, and it's nice to be able to talk. It's not always just about learning from me. You can learn from each other. So thanks for your company. Thanks for having me. And until next time, I will be around on a regular basis, but I'm not pinning myself down to a time. Just put on your notifications, and if you can join us, fine. If not, watch the catch up. Hopefully all will be well. Thanks for having me. I'll see you soon, and take good care of yourselves. And there's 2 cards you already know. Okay? Take care now. Bye, bye.